Sorry, I made you, I missed you, organizer. No, Mahendra, is this okay?
Yeah, it's fine now.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, it's fine now.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome. So we'll see all these options that are there in the Welcome to Modeler. So first, to start with, when you click on import, you have an option called SAP import SAP NetWeaver BW models. So when you use this option, importing of NetWeaver BW models, select this mode to import objects available in SAP NetWeaver BW system that you would like to transform into SAP HANA information models. So when you click on next and take server, give the username and password, click test connection, click test connection and click next, select instance and click next. Once you have done this, now here you see your info areas, all different info areas, and then you can select any of the cubes. In BW is especially an enterprise data warehousing solution where you can import. Let me show you. If you go to the SAP logon, double click, on the BW system, provide the username and password, click continue with the logon, click continue, confirm selection, continue, give the T code RSA1, click enter. Now here if you see the different info cubes, so these are different cubes. So when you right click on the info cube and click display and click display data, field selection for output, select all chars and click execute and execute, and here you see the data for the info cube. Now info cube is a star schema. You can import these info cubes which are nothing but star schemas on the BW side. So what you can do for this, you can go to the HANA and then go to the info area. So what's the info area here we have? Info area is area for capex. So you can see the same info area capex here. Can we see some more capex? or you can do a search on the cube. Let's do a search on this JIC_test. Give the cube name, click search. Now here is the cube name. Select the cube and click add, and then provide the package name. So click browse and select the package where you would like to import the info cube into the HANA database. Let us select any package from here. And just select this and click OK. So you can also import the roles from the ABAP, generate roles based on analytic privilege. So we see the analytic privilege where you can restrict the data access. Click next and select the roles that are already there in the SAP. Click add and finally click finish. So once you click finish, now here is basically importing the BW model. So now the cube that is existing on the BW side, JIC_test, would be available in HANA. So here when you expand the content, and then when you go to the 00, expand this, here you would see an analytic view that is internally created, which is JIC_test_internal. The calculation view is JIC_test. Right click on the calculation view, data preview, and click raw data. The cube which is available on the BW side I imported as a calculation view. So it generated a calculation view. Click auto layout, and here you have the projection. Expand the projection. Once you expand the projection, select the analytic view, click open, and then here you would see a data foundation that is created by BW. Click data foundation, and here when I click on auto layout, a star schema is created by the system automatically. So it basically imported the relationships from the BW application layer to the database layer. The center is the fact table. So all these relationships are already existing on the ABAP system. Now by using an option import SAP NetWeaver BW models, it has created a calculation view. So this cube, when we import it, it creates an analytic view, which is an info cube, and this analytic view is the input for the calculation view. Just to see data for this, data preview. So here you see JetMat, material ID, plant and amount. So this is the data that you can see. Same on the BW side. Right click, data preview, open display data. Display data, field selection for output, plant, material, click execute and execute. The same data would be visible. But for this M01 plant, currency and amount. But for this already you have the BW system which is running on HANA. So when you right click and click status, and you see the database over here. The database is HDB. HDB is the database request.
Nagarjuna, one question.
Yes, please.
In the initial step, we have provided the server details. Are those this database server details?
That is the
To connect.
application layer.
No, the thing is, before importing this BW content, we have given some connection details.
This one, right? This
Yeah.
is the application layer. This one.
Yeah, these details. Are these details are BW system details or?
Yeah. BW system details. Yes. PC ABAP
Okay.
application layer.
Okay. Which connection type it will use?
ABAP application layer.
That means, is it RFC communication or?
No, it is not an RFC. It is OpenSQL and native SQL.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Because application layer is sitting on database.
Okay, it will be possible in case of BW on HANA database, right?
Exactly. Correct.
Okay. In other situations,
Yeah.
again we need this data provisioning techniques.
You need a DXC.
DXs, yes.
Yes, correct.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Welcome. So in the same way, you can also import other info providers. Like you can import info objects. You can also import DSOs. So info objects are imported as attribute views. So click File, click Import. So if you have any info objects here, So let me show you some info objects. So this is an info object. So you can import these info objects as well. Select, click add. So same package. Once you select the package, click OK. And also select the relevant cubes. I'm showing you all at once. Also select DSO. Click next. Click add and click finish. So now you would see when I refresh the package, click refresh. So when I go to the attribute view, I click on the attribute view data preview, and here you would see the material description. So here you say material ID and name of the material. And in the same case, you can also take the DSO. So data store object. The data store objects also get imported. All these are BW objects that you can import to native HANA. Excuse me. Right click and data preview. And click raw data. So here you would see the data from the DSO. For example, employee ID and quantity. Or unit. Get EMP ID. Quantity. So if you go back and right click on the DSO, display data, field selection for output, execute and execute. So I have employee ID and quantity. So DSOs in this case, they only get imported as analytic views, and the info objects get imported as attribute views. So what I'm trying to say finally is, whenever you import an info object, it imports as an attribute view, and DSO imports as an analytic view, and info cubes and import as analytic view as well as calculation view. DSO.
Arjun, I have a question here.
Yes, please.
Yeah, we are importing the objects from BW to HANA. So how would the synchronization work in between BW and HANA? Say if certain things are changed at the BW side, how would they be affected here in HANA? Do we need to reload them again, re-import them again?
Yeah, correct. We need to re-import these objects again whenever you have any changes on the application layer. So you need to re-import the models. So
okay, so the models would be overridden, is it?
correct. Yes. Perfect.
Okay. And how about the process chains which will be created at the BW side?
So
Can we?
we cannot import those models. We can only import DSO, info object, and info cube. And the process chain that works will be working as it is. That's not going to change because the data will be pulled from the source system to BW, but finally the data is available at the HANA system. So in HANA you have all the tables. In HANA you have all the tables, but when you're importing, we're not actually importing the data or the metadata. We're only importing the relationship between the tables.
Okay. So still we need to monitor or manage the process chains from BW system only.
Correct, correct. You're correct.
Okay.
So as it is, the things will be running as it is, but only thing that we're going to import on BW powered by HANA is the relationship between the tables we're going to import. And finally, the calculation view. So any doubts you have here before we move on to the next topic?
So still the new info objects, info cubes are all to be created at the BW only, right?
Yeah, correct.
The reverse won't work.
The reverse also will work.
It's just
The reverse will also work. For example, whenever you want to access the HANA models into the BW side, that also works, but that is purely BW powered by HANA. But in this case, if you're more interested on that aspect, you can use something called a transient provider. A transient provider, now the use case for that is because the BEX query cannot be directly communicating to HANA models. So in that scenario, what we try to do is we create something called rsdd underscore hm underscore publish.
sorry, one moment. So you mean to say that BEX queries cannot communicate with HANA models directly. So how are we going to develop BEX reports on HANA?
No, that's what I'm showing you here. So here you have a T code called rsdd underscore hm underscore publish. So you can access HANA models in BW by using something called transient providers.
Okay.
So basically, this is mostly into BW powered by HANA from the BW 362. But because you asked this question, I'll just show you. So you can go to the HANA information model and you can try to access a package. And
So basically, can change the relationship in between the objects at the HANA and then export them back to BW.
yeah,
Right?
you're trying to create as an index. The models that you're trying to access, you're trying to create as an index, which is called analytic index. Means you're only trying to access the metadata and data on the fly. For example, let me take one example over here. For example, if this is the table and then you're trying to create an analytic view on the table, could you please mute if you don't mind? And here we try to access. So whatever you want, you can select here. So I'm doing projection. Go to logical join, click semantics, click validate, and save and activate. Okay. We'll take price. Click save and validate, save and activate, data preview, click raw data. So now the same data I'm going to access in HANA. So we have created this view, which is the package is 00 and sales underscore data is the view. So now sales underscore data. Click on create. It creates as an analytic index. Click continue. Click continue and assign any info area. So click char. Once you click save, so here you would see @sales underscore data is the info provider. So here if you double click on the analytic view, so this is the output that we have. The same output will be available here. Oops, I think these are see me 1 minute. Column cosmetic contains lowercase letters. Let me recreate with a different table. Let us assign info area. Say ZSD underscore IA. Click care. Now here you would see the customers and material and the measure, which is amount. Click save. So once you click save, now the same info provider, which is same as the analytic view, the name is same as analytic view, but it prefixes with @3. It prefixes with @3. So now we go to start all program, and if you go to Business Explorer, click Query Designer, or directly we can execute the query itself. Go to the analyzer, and go to the analyzer, click Run, and then once you go to the analyzer, click on Add-in, open query, double click on BW 7.4, give the username and password. Click Find and copy the model. Select and click Open. So now you can access the data, the same data which is in HANA. So now we are doing from bottom to top. So this is basically called as mixed modeling. So mixed, you can create mixed modeling. Either you can do from expose data from BW to HANA or HANA to BW. And also the same way you can also do with virtual providers as well. But this is most of this is from BW 362. All these things that we are doing here is a part of BW 362, but our focus is only on native HANA, right?
Alright. So similar to this, so we can also do the changes to the imported models in HANA and then export it back to BW, right?
Exactly, yes, you can do that. And one thing, just to add one more point over here, and transient providers can only, these are non-transportable objects. You have to directly create in the production. We cannot transport these objects. So directly these objects should be created in the production system for rapid prototyping.
Okay, alright.
Okay.
And how about virtual info providers?
Virtual provider also you have the same, but you'll do the same thing. But again, if you right click on the info area, so create virtual provider, I'll just show you the option and leave it. So probably you can explore later. So based on the HANA model, so here you can specify, you can take HANA model, yeah, same thing again. But for virtual provider, you can physically maintain the metadata. But transient provider, automatically info objects are created. But for virtual, you need to maintain the info objects. That's the difference there. Okay. If you're interested in BW362, we have a separate course for that. You can basically come into that course. Right. Okay, so
But we need to have a BW background, right?
yeah, correct. You need to have BW background. So that course will be for 15 hours. A 15 hours course. You can come to that course. So it will be helpful if you already are into BW background.
Okay.
So going to the next topic. So next we would see HANA transports. Mind that we haven't covered this topic yet. HANA transport, right? Mind that?
No, we have not covered this yet.
Yeah.
Yes, Nagarjuna.
We haven't covered this topic yet.
We haven't covered this.
Yeah, yeah. Just to make sure.
Yeah, we haven't covered. But we covered, I think, delivery units, all those things, but a little bit. But
You mean to say, if I covered delivery unit, developer mode and support mode.
no, only delivery unit we covered.
Okay, yeah. Thank you. So actually we are browsing to all these options that are available over here. So once you click import, then also you see the other one apart from SAP NetWeb BW models, delivery unit and developer mode. So we'll see these options that are available over here. So now, especially when you do HANA transports, so you have development, quality and production. So whenever you want to transport objects from development to quality, you have different options that are, the first one is delivery unit. It's called as delivery unit. The second one is called as developer mode. And third one is called as support mode.
Nagarjuna, all these are after SP05 version, right?
Yeah, correct. Correct, Mahinder.
No, in SP05 I can see only DU.
Correct, Mahinder. You're correct.
Yeah. Okay.
So now we are on SP8, so these are all new. So when you go to file, click export, delivery unit, developer mode and support mode. So these are the three ways that you can basically transport objects from one system to the other system. So when you go to development, QA and production, the highest that you can associate for a package is a delivery unit. So delivery unit are the transportable objects that move from one system to the other system. So you associate packages to the delivery units. You can associate multiple packages to the delivery unit, and these packages can be transported. So if you go to HANA Modeler and select delivery unit, click next, select instance, click next. So here you need to associate a delivery unit, but first you need to create anyways. So these are the delivery units that you can transport to the server or to the client or attach to transport request. So a delivery unit can be either transported to the server, to the client, or attach a transport request. So once you go to the HANA Modeler, so first let us create a delivery unit. Click delivery units, click create, and then give the name for the delivery unit. Let's say we give the delivery unit as weekend transport. Click OK. So usually the delivery units are created by HANA administrators, and once the delivery unit is created, we associate a package to the delivery unit. So weekend TR is our delivery unit. So let me take one package. We can create a new package. So create a new package. Right click package. Let's say create a transport package. And for this package, I associate a delivery unit. So for this package, the delivery unit I just created was, what was that? Weekend TR at the bottom. So I'm associating delivery unit to the package and click OK. Package already exists, failed to create a package. So let's take a different name, different technical name, and click OK. Right click and refresh. Here we would see transport package 5. So let us basically get some objects into this package. Let's say I would like to take some objects from here. So you can do something called refactor. you can move objects from this package to another package. Right click on the package, click refactor and click move. And select the package name. Select this and click next. So we're going to move, we're doing something called refactor, nothing but moving from one package to other package. Click finish. I think it has a lot of dependencies. Click refresh. Let me try to copy, it has a lot of dependencies. So let me try to copy this to the TR5 transport package 5. We got from one attribute view. Click validate, save and activate. Same way we get some more objects into the package. Just I would like to transport them. So I'm just trying to get few more objects. So just copy. Or you can use this that we created from here. So we can use this object. Just copy and paste. So you also have an analytic view. Just I'm trying to copy some objects so that I can basically move the package. Let's take the calculation view as well. Let us take one calculation view. Copy. Paste. Click OK. Click validate and save and activate. So now we would like to transport these 3 objects from the package which is transport 5 to QA. So what I have to do now? I have to associate the delivery unit. So in order to associate, right click on the package, click edit. So now we associated the package to the delivery unit. So once you have done this, then go to the quick launch, and here also you can see that. So you can associate any number of packages. So when you select this, please see. So one delivery unit can be assigned to multiple packages. Now once you assign to the delivery unit, now we would like to export the package. So click File and click Export. Click Export and then select the delivery unit and click Next. Select the instance and click Next and select the delivery unit, which is transport 5. Select this. Select the transport, the delivery unit over here.
I think weekend TR.
I'm sorry. Yeah, thank you. Beacon TR.
Okay, not transport pack.
Yeah. So beacon TR, and then on the delivery unit you can basically do also based on time. You can filter based on time. So whenever you want to transport the DU to the server, you can also based on time you can filter this, because every time one object is changed it has versioning. So based on the versioning you can actually transport this. So now once you select export to server, click next. So it generates a file called .tgz file. It generates a .tgz file. Now this goes to the file path and click finish. So once you click finish, now the export has been completed successfully. Now every view will have something called version. Right click on the view, click history. Here you see the version of the view. Right click, history, version. So every view will have a version here. Now whenever you try to modify, suppose I try to modify this, I remove the material and again I click save and validate and save and activate. So when you right click on the view again and click history, now this time you have the second version. So basically it shows the user who has modified this and what is the time. So based on this time you can also do transports. So after this week, whatever the changes that have been made, you can filter by time and get to the quality system. So now the information views are at the server. Assuming that because we cannot afford to have the development quality production, what I will try to do here is, for some time we assume that this is only the quality and I will delete them, delete these views. Whenever you open these views we cannot delete. just close them and click delete. So if you want to check dependencies, right click on a particular view and go to where used. So whenever you do a where used, it will show the dependencies of this particular view. Let's say if this attribute view, if you click where used, so this attribute view is used in all these views. So right click on the analytic view and click delete. Click yes. I deleted the analytic view. Also I'm trying to delete the attribute view. Click delete. So we have deleted everything. Now, assuming that this is quality for some time. Now assuming this is quality, and I'm trying to export the delivery unit. Sorry, I'm trying to import the delivery unit into the QA now. Because QA we don't have any objects now. Now if we click on file, click import, and here you have an option called a delivery unit. So once you select the delivery unit, select the delivery unit mode to import objects that are available on server or on the client location in the form of .tgz files. So you see at the finally there is a file which is generated with the extension .tgz. So once you select the delivery unit and click next, select the instance, click next, and because the delivery unit is on the server, I select the server, click file, and here you see the weekend tr .tgz. So automatically it sorts based on the time. So here you see the time 2014, month and day, and there is the timestamp. Select this. So now it shows you the views and click finish. So once you click finish, now it's doing the import. Completed successfully. Once you go back to the content now, go to the package. Now again you have this. But always you have to make sure that already the dependencies are there. Now if you try to get analytic view where the attribute view is a dependent, then you get an error. Because you need to get all the dependencies for a particular view. If you want to check out dependencies, right click and see where used. It will show the dependencies. And also you have to make sure that you have something called RDS, Rapid Deployment Solution. Rapid Deployment Solutions are the solution that are already designed by SAP for faster implementation of the project.
Nagarjuna.
Yes, please.
Nagarjuna, sorry. Sorry to disturb you. I think in SP05 we have the schema mapping concept for this importing.
Okay.
Don't we have, no need to do that here?
Sorry, Mahendra, I'm not getting you.
Because, for example, there may be different schemas in quality and development.
Okay, already you attended my class, is it?
No. Because I will go through that books, no, that's why.
Oh, okay, you're asking from the books. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm just telling that The topic itself I'm telling. Yeah?
Oh, because RDS is again a different topic, right? Okay, okay, no worries. We'll see.
No, Mahinder. Now, you have any issues with the way that I'm taking class?
No, it's perfectly fine because what I thought was RDS again we are moving to some other topic. That's why I have a doubt here. That's why I asked.
But
It's not
still,
like that.
I haven't started the topic, right? Because
Uh,
if you see the schema
no,
mapping,
no. What I'm saying is, and I think in the transportation only we'll see the schema mapping. We are covering the transportation right here now.
see, yeah, Mahinder, I'm telling the schema mapping is over here.
Okay.
So still, I'm actually telling
No.
you the rapid deployment solution. Inside the rapid deployment solution, you have schema mapping.
Okay, fine. No, because I think the schema mapping topic will come in transportation as well. That's why I asked.
No, don't worry. That's what I'm saying, Mahinder. I'm saying that
Okay.
in the rapid deployment solution, you have schema mapping. So that's what I'm going to discuss now.
Okay, fine.
Please give me an opportunity to tell.
No,
Don't mind because I'm going in some flow. So if you disturb my flow, it will be the problem only for you. It's not for
okay. No
me.
worries. Thank you.
And, okay, don't mind. Okay, just
No. It's
let me try to
just
complete
to
this.
please excuse because I got the doubt. That's why I asked.
Okay. No, what I'm saying is let me
Okay.
try to complete this class.
Okay.
If in this session I'm not able to complete, then you can ask me at the end of the class. Yeah.
Okay. Fine.
Thank you, Mahinder, for your understanding. So what actually I'm trying to say is, so whenever you use RDS, rapid deployment solution, rapid deployment solutions are used for faster implementation of the project, where SAP already gives you the predefined information views. So these views that SAP has developed will be associated to a different schema. So when the customers actually import these views into their landscape, the view can be same. Suppose say you're using an analytic view called AV1. Here also you have the same analytic view AV1. But the thing is, when they develop these views point to a different tables, to a different schema. Probably you may have the same table name, which is a standard table KNA1, but this KNA1 will be pointing to a different schema. Let's say S1. Now, a lot of customers may be using this RDS solution. So when you try to import the RDS solution into the customer landscape, the schemas on the customer side, probably here it is S2 schema, and here it is S3, and here is S4 for an example. Now if the schemas are not same, it will throw an error saying that the schema on which the information view was developed. For example, let us see this. Now when you take the transport 5, double click on the analytic view, and if you select the table, so in here the table is associated to schema called HANA user. Now what if we do not have HANA user when we try to import the RDS solution into the customer system? What if we don't have? So when you don't have this particular schema in the customer landscape, then it will throw an error saying that the tables are same, the views are same, but the schemas are different. So in that case, what you can do is you can click on schema mapping and click add, So here, this is nothing but authoring schema. Authoring schema are nothing but incoming schema, and physical schemas are the existing schemas. It means that S1 is the authoring schema because the models that were already developed are basically pointing to this schema. So when I import them, I'll try to associate with the existing schema, which is HANA user. So here, when you basically click the drop down menu, here you can actually select HANA user schema and click OK. So manage mapping between authoring and physical schema. So authoring schemas are the incoming schema and physical schemas are the existing schemas in the HANA system. So one important thing that we have to note, this is not between a development to quality, but this is between one system to the other system. Like for example, take RDS. Rapid Deployment Solution use a different schema because SAP has its own naming convention of creating schemas, but the customer will not use the same schema. So in that case, we basically do schema mapping in order to not to have any issues. If you don't do, then you get an issue called the schemas are not mapped, and then you have to map in the schema mapping. So that is the importance of schema mapping. So basically what I'm trying to say, the things that you have to make sure when you transport objects from RDS, Rapid Deployment Solution, now this is from the client. We're not doing from the server, but this is from the client you have to import because the RDS solution is available in the service.sap.com marketplace, where you have to download this RDS and then import to the development system. So in order to perform this activity, SAP given an option where you can click on File, click Import, and here you have something called Delivery Unit, and Delivery Unit using the client method. Here you have something called client. So using the client method, you can import these objects into the HANA system. So first what I will try to do is I will generate a file in the client or in the desktop, then you can import these objects. So now click File, click Export, select Delivery Unit, click Next, select Instance, click Next. Now select the Delivery Unit, which is Weekend TR, and here select Export to Client. So once you select Export to Client, so this is the name of the file, and select the location, click Browse. So at the client, where do you want to store? So make a new folder, and give the folder name. So select the folder. So this is the location where the file will get exported. Click Next and click Finish. So now export to the client has been successfully completed. Let us minimize the HANA Studio, and here if you see so we double click on the weekend batch folder. So here you see the transport .tgz file. Packages, objects, entity view. So now once this is available on the client location, now when you import this particular, click file and click import. So once you import, you need to select the delivery unit. Click next. Select the instance. Now we are trying to import now. Now previously we have seen for a server. If you remember, previously I shown you for server. Now I'm showing you for client. Now client is especially used when you want to use RDS, because RDS is not available in server. You want to import not from the service marketplace, you want to import to the development system. It's not from development to quality, because always the schemas in development and quality will be in sync. But only this place the schema is not in sync, because this is SAP naming space and this is our naming space. So when you go to HANA Modeler, select the instance, next, and select client, like how you would like to import. Click browse and select the folder where you have weekend batch. Select the folder. So these are the views that are going to get imported, and click finish. So basically it's going to overwrite. If it's not there, it's going to overwrite the inactive versions. Click finish. Completed successfully. The import has been done. Right click, refresh. So now it has overwritten the object. So if you open and history, so always you have to make sure that once you have imported into the quality system, then the versions between the development as well as quality should be always in sync. And you can also use client. You can also use client to import objects. Also you can use server to import objects to the quality. But what I'm trying to say here is, whether you import using a server or a client, whatever the version that is there in the development should always be in sync with the quality and to the production. All these three objects should be in sync in terms of versioning. So I was just trying to explain using a server how to import delivery units, and using a client how to import the file into the QA system. And also you need to check on the dependencies. Whenever you import the RTS, rapid deployment solution, the schemas would be differ from the customer naming space and the SAP naming space. In order to achieve that, simply what we have to do is, you have to do something called authoring schema to the physical schema, click schema mapping, and click add and map the schema. Now how will you make sure that how will you know whether what schema SAP is using? So you can refer to the technical mapping document that will be provided by SAP as a part of RDS. So if you go to the technical mapping document, there it will give you details of what tables are being used in what schemas. So based on that particular document, you can map the schemas over here. Now, the third option is also available when you click File, click Export, select Delivery Unit. Next, select the instance, click Next. Please see the third option, which is Attach to Transport Request. So the delivery unit can be exported in three ways. One is server, to the client, and to the attached transport request. Now this is mainly used with the integration with the solution manager. Usually in real time, if you see the projects, you have HANA system and parallelly you have solution manager. Now solution manager is the one-stop solution where you can integrate, you can do lifecycle management, monitoring, patching. So HANA can be integrated with solution manager. HANA can be integrated with solution manager. Now why is that we are going to use solution manager by using attached to transport request? So in this case we are going to use the standard CTS, change transport system. So on the above application layer, usually they use the standard way to transport objects from one system to the other system. To go to the SAP logon, double click on the ECC, give the username and password, click enter. Click continue with the logon. Click continue. So usually they use something called transport management system, wherein the above systems, which are development, quality and production, where the route is defined by the basis administrator. And here you have something called import overview. So when you click on import overview, when you double click on the queue, so basically what happens is whenever you try to release a transport request in the development, it basically goes and sits in a queue which is called import queue. So from the import queue you can transport or you can import these objects into the quality, and same to the production. So in order to have tight control, in order to have approval mechanism, because here when you try to transport objects from one system to the other system, you don't have any control of the objects here, because you're trying to export to the client or to the server and then importing here. In order to have tight control, what you can do is you can attach the delivery unit which is available in HANA to the transport request. And after the approval mechanism, you can import this transport request using the standard CTS, change transport system, into the quality. So we integrate with the solution manager for approval mechanism and tight control over the system. But without solution manager also you can do this process. So now we don't have solution manager over here to show this scenario. Only in real time you have the solution manager. But what I can show you here is when you select the delivery unit, and if you select attach to transport request and click next, click preferences, and here you have attached delivery unit to transport request, CTS. So using attached delivery unit to transport request, CTS. So once the web service URL is being generated, now a transport request would be generated in SC09. If you go to a T code called SC09 in the solution manager, now when you click on display, now there would be a request that is being generated. And so you can basically release this request. You can basically release directory. You have to release the child and the parent. Now this is we have to do in the solution manager. You have to release the objects. So once you release these objects, this will be available in the import queue. Once these objects are available in the import queue, then you can import using STMS. So it got released, this request got released. So this is the method, but this is the way that you have to do once you have the transport request. So then you have to go to the import queue, and these requests will be available in the import queue, but currently we don't have the integration. So you have to select the request and click on import request. So once you click on import request, then it will be available in the quality of the solution manager. And this mechanism will be approved, and you can easily track the transports of HANA. So basically what I'm trying to say here is using the delivery unit mode, you have three methods. One is server, client, attach transport request. You also have a provision where you can filter by time. So whenever you basically transport these objects, click on export and then select delivery unit and click next and select the instance, click next. In here, when you select the delivery unit, so here you can select filter by time interval. So what is the range that you want to take? You want to take some time range from 12th of December till today. So this is the time range I'm giving. So how will it actually get this time range? It will actually check the version. So when you check the version, you see it's showing the time of the version. So it's going to take the time of the version. So based on the time of the version, date from and to date. So it's basically going to change the take from that particular time range. So based on time also you can do transports from one system to the other system, and this is supports for all the three, for server, for client, and for attached to transport request. Now in this case I'm only trying to explain in the export we are only seeing the delivery unit mode. So delivery unit mode has three: server, client, attached to transport request. And using time you can transport objects from one system to the other system. So this is delivery unit. So until here, if you have any questions, please go ahead before I go to the developer mode. If you have any questions, please ask me. So what is the difference between a delivery unit and a developer mode? Yeah, what's the difference? The key difference here is using a delivery unit, using a delivery unit, the highest is you can export a package. But using a developer mode, you can also export individual objects. But this is only to the client location. Does not work onto the server. So using a developer mode, you can also export individual objects, but only to client. So select the developer mode, click next, and select the instance, click next, and expand the content. Expand content and expand ECC. I'm sorry. You have to expand 6am batch and select any of the attribute views. Click add. And you can take from multiple packages. So you can select individual objects from different packages. So you can select different. Please see, individual objects I'm taking from different packages. So delivery unit is the highest is package, but for developer mode you can also use individual objects like attribute views, analytic views, and click browse. Click OK and click finish. So now we're trying to export. export using a developer mode. Now these are individual objects. We're not actually using a transport. We're not using a package. So once you export now, now using the developer mode, now we are exporting to the client location, and from the client location you can import to the quality. But this is for individual objects, not package. You can also do package, but always the best practice is use server rather than developer mode. So let me import them back. You can import them back. So let me delete these views. Let me close. So only when you close you can delete. So I haven't done this, I'm sorry. I've taken from different packages. 1 minute. Let me check on what package I've taken. Developer mode. So dev package, ECC batch area. So you can see the log here. It will show you from what package we have exported. 6 a.m. 80 underscore build to party or (6 a.m. ECC batch). It's AM ECC batch. And this one. Right click and delete. So now I've deleted this. So I'll just try to import this. Click File. Click Import. And Delivery Developer Mode. Click Next. Select the instance. Click Next. And click Browse. And select the beacon batch. Sorry, the beacon batch. Let me check where I've exported. What was the folder? Did I do in the my documents? Transfers today. It's 12/1. Twelve 20. And this one, desktop client. Okay. So the folder was desktop client here. So you can click on file, click import, and then select developer mode, click next, and select the instance, next, and here we need to select desktop client and click OK. And now here we would see attribute views from analytic views from different packages. And once you have done this, then here you need to select the package. Whatever is required, you can click add. Now if you remember, I deleted this area in the previous case. I have deleted this area. Once you click finish, now again it is going to re-import back. It's going to import the developer mode. Now it's importing the developer mode completed successfully. Now again, once you come back, the previous case which we deleted, when we exported, we deleted this object called area. So in the 6 AM ECC batch, so once you select 6 AM, let me try to refresh. Okay, here you have in the HDB folder. So I click on the content, refresh. So it goes to the default folder. So here it goes to a default folder called HDB. So here you find 6 AM ECC, and here you find the area. In the same way, whatever the other models that we have imported, 7 AM ECC, SD orders build to party, and jet PUR from dev package, jet PUR 001, and then development package, which is company code. So using a developer mode, you can export object from development to quality for individual objects, but delivery unit, the highest level is the package. And third one here we see something called support mode. We have something called support mode. So especially the support mode is used by the HANA administrators. So this is usually something like whenever you have issue in the production, suppose say you have an issue in the production. In the production we can troubleshoot for some extent, but usually whenever you want to troubleshoot in the production, we are not allowed to do or change anything in the production. But one advantage in the production is you have the data that is incoming from the source system, and this data would not be available in the quality system. This data would not be available in the quality. So what we do is, usually what Basis does is they do something called system refresh. So whenever you have an issue, in order to troubleshoot that issue, over the weekend Basis does something called system refresh. So they refresh the system so that the data from the production is also available in the quality. You have the model but you don't have data. So in order to perform this activity, SAP has given an option called support mode. So using a support mode, you can export metadata as well data from production to quality. Usually this is quality to production, but in here we use from production to quality. And this is only possible through server and for individual objects and their dependencies. So if you go to the HANA Studio and click File, click Export. Usually this is not done by us, this is done by the HANA administrators. Select support mode, click Next, select the instance, click Next, and select the package. Whatever the package you want to select, select the package, and select the view that you want to export. Probably you want to export the analytic view. Click Add, and click Finish. So once you click Finish, now export completed successfully, and user SAP HDB backup. Click OK. And from there, the administrator will import from production to the quality. But this is only for individual objects. We cannot do for group of objects. This is only at one point of time. You can do only for one object. Because whenever you basically export, suppose you have selected a view, click Add, You cannot add one more, it get disabled. System refresh is for the entire system, but this is for a particular object. So just to conclude today's class, we're basically seeing the HANA transport, wherein you can use delivery unit, a developer mode and support mode. Using delivery unit, you can transport objects to server, to client, and attach transport request. So it generates a .tgz file, and based on time also you can do transports. The highest level is you can associate a package to the delivery unit. The second one is a developer mode. Using a developer mode, you can transport individual objects to only client, but multiple individual objects. And using a support mode, you can transport objects plus data from production to quality for doing root cause analysis. This is something like client refresh in SAP. Until here, if you have any questions, please go ahead. Zubair?
Yes, Mr. Nagar.
Mahinder? Murali? So again, one more topic also we've discussed, which is schema mapping. Schema mapping is to map between authoring schemas to the physical schema. When the schemas are not same, whenever you're trying to import objects, then we have to do schema mapping. Also make sure that the versions are same. Always the version should be in sync between development and quality. If you want to see the dependencies, right click on a particular object and where use list. So these are tips that you can use to check dependencies, where used, history. Any questions? So same step actually I'm doing repeatedly again and again. It is the same step for doing the server to the client and to the... So once you understand one model, you have to keep repeating the same thing from development to quality again and again.
Mr. Nagar, this is Zubair here.
Yes,
Since we are practicing the stuff, if we, I'm assuming that tomorrow will be our last class, what we discussed last week. So
No.
do we have a last class tomorrow, or?
It's not like that, Zubair. I told you, right? So if you have any questions, we can again come back next week and discuss on your practice. Tomorrow I'll give you some project work. So based on all the discussion that we have done on all these classes, I will give you some project work from tomorrow. So based on, because until now I've basically taken one entire project like COPA, and try to explain you the entire process. But from tomorrow, it will be something like you work on individual projects. For example, say you are more like a finance guy. I'll give you something relevant to finance. Probably some other is more relevant to sales and distribution. I'll give you some models on sales and distribution. So you have to work on those areas and then submit back the assignments to me. And then I will review. And again on the next week, we can have a review session on your work. All right?
Mr. Nagar, as I discussed last time that I have a 2 weeks ITIL training starting from next week, just after the Christmas. So how I'm going to make it?
No. What I'm saying is, no, assignment is something you have to work offline. It's not like when I'm there, you will work assignment, right?
Oh, okay.
I will give you work. You can do the work and submit to me.
Oh, okay.
So this is what will be the main intention of this assignment is. You can keep the same assignment that you have done in your resume. That is the main intention here, because everyone cannot say I've done COPA. Am I right or not? Because then they will know only one trainer is teaching everyone.
Absolutely right.
So that is the reason. From tomorrow I will give individual models, so you need to work on the individual models and submit back the assignments to me. And I'll show you tomorrow how this works. Tomorrow I'll show you.
And for this server access, so till when we get server access for this batch?
So it depends on when you have enrolled. So probably
our classes started in if I'm not wrong, in November.
It is not like that. For example, if you take Mahinder joined late, so he would get extended server access because he was not there from first, right? So it will be valid for 3 months, Zubair, or we can extend another 10 days after the expiry date. All right? You'll have 3 months plus 10 days.
Okay. When I started the course, Mr. Nagar, you told me that since I approached you directly, so I get 6 months.
Hello? So okay. So 6 months is something like you have to